Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to American Law webinar series by Lehrmach. Lehrmach is an intellectual properties rights consultancy. This is Leon, Uwe Lee. I am Lehrmach's legal counsel and your presentation host. Today's presentation is the 2015 Texas Division Sons of Confederate Veterans case. It is one clad with multiple diverse cultural interpretations. But since we are only dealing with the interpretation of the law, contention is whether public speech under the First Amendment protection can compel a government agency to accept this public speech to avoid viewpoint discrimination. Namely, for this case, can the public compel the government to accept a Confederate battle flag icon in a Texas state automobile license plate design? In summation, court ruled that public speech within a public forum is protected by constitutional First Amendment freedom of speech and expression. However, the government in power is forged by electorate via public election mandate. Therefore, as the latest incarnation of sovereign will of the state, it represents the consent of the governed in this regard, and as such, it is vested with authority and discretion in its own government speech rights on par with public speech to accept or reject any specialty license plate designs. But before we continue, if you will grant me an indulgence, given the cancel culture fashion in our modern era, by which both right and left of center political advocates have exercised and weaponized its own cancel cultural powers in the past 20 years, suffice to state, America, as a modern constitutional republic, our greatest asset is the ability to willingly change for betterment of all society. Hence, being fair and judicial in mindset, we blend both contending viewpoints out into the open and let each American generation self-decide how much of one is value over the other. We do not enact censorship for lawful sharing of knowledge. For we are not a bunch of Islamists forbidding women to read and write. We are not the East German Stasi secret police, by which their motto was, Die Feind ist der anderes Ding. The enemy is one who thinks differently. And we certainly are not hordes of communist China commissars, which rule over the common folks as political food for the gods. But that being stated, beware of cancel culture nascent power as a dual-edged sword. For today is Stonewall Jackson being canceled because he was a Confederate general. By next week, it will be George Washington being trashed because he was a slave owner. And by the end of the month, it will be Martin Luther King because he was a Communist Party sympathizer. Why? Because King was a staunch supporter of Black nationalist and communist community leader W.E.B. Du Bois from Massachusetts, who openly advocated overthrow of American Republic and abolish the capitalist economic system. Hey, you learn something new every day. So, take your pick which legacy you admire. Therefore, let us begin.